Some people in the community think there is at least a lack of communication with the Board of Trustees and explaining their decisions and what their process is. What measures would you like to see implemented to enhance transparency and foster more trust between the district and the community?
I'm going to think there are three things that I would like to see different. One is around our budget document. So the budget document is effectively a table of numbers that describes what the plan is to spend for certain categories across the school: instruction, curriculum, staffing, those types of things, plant and maintenance. And so there's not a lot of explanation. We don't tie out our strategic priorities to the budget. We don't show what an organizational chart is. There's no business plan that helps families understand this is why we're spending money here and why we're not spending money there. And so I think, if we were a publicly traded company, there's no way this would pass muster, right? But because we are a government entity, for some reason that it's acceptable. And I would just counter that schools are paid for by taxpayer dollars, so we have even more incentive. There's more fiduciary responsibility to be fully transparent with the budget. So that's number one. I would also like to see us using those parent communities like the special education communities to actually help drive some decision making in the district. So here's an example. We recently approved a bullying policy, and I think anyone who has a kid in the special education program or with special needs, that they are more susceptible to bullying. And so what if, as the trustees were approving the bullying policy, if they'd asked the special education parent partners to work with them on what would you like to see in a policy, so that the parent communities aren't just checking a box, but really they're providing real insight into policies and procedures that the board has to approve. So that's number two. The third thing is that all meetings, regardless of the topic, regardless of the sensitive nature, there is a need to have those agendas posted in a timely manner and to have them available for community. So here's an example. Just last week, the Long Range Facility Plan the committee had a meeting to go over the big plans for our district. That agenda was not posted online, and there was no link to listen to that meeting. It wasn't publicly released where and when the meeting would be until, actually it was my understanding is it was never fully published. So that's really disappointing. I think a lot of people would have liked to been able to attend that meeting and hear from the architect, look at the presentation live as it was happening.